In this section, we're going to look at some of the basics of algebra. Understanding the whole of this section will really help when you move on to more complex algebra. The idea is that we often use letters to represent numbers that we do not know at a particular time. Sometimes it's the case that we're trying to work out the number represented by the letter. A letter which is commonly used to represent an unknown number is x, although you will see many different letters used to represent unknown numbers. So let's consider x. X here represents one single x. We always just write x, not 1x, when we're talking about one single x. But never forget that the 1 is there. Not writing the 1 in front of 1x is what's known as an algebraic convention. In other words, it's customary that the 1 is not written. I should point out that that does not mean that you'll lose marks if you were to write the 1 there. It also doesn't mean that on occasion it isn't useful to write the 1 in. Since x represents a number, we can do things to it like we can with numbers. For example, if we consider the number 3, we can do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. This is 12, but it's also 4 times 3, 4 lots of 3. We can do the same with x. Consider x. If we have x plus x plus x plus x, this is 4 times x, just like 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 was 4 times 3. We usually write this as 4x, leaving out the times sign. So when you see 4x, that means 4 times x. It's another algebraic convention that we don't write the times sign in. So remember, 4x represents 4 times x, which is x plus x plus x plus x. It follows from this that if we were to do 4x plus 3x, this would be x plus x plus x plus x, which is the 4x, added to x plus x plus x, which is the 3x. If you look at this, we have 7 x's in a row, so it follows that this is 7x. Once you understand this, you won't need to write down this middle step. You'll just be able to write 4x plus 3x immediately as 7x. So following on from this, 5x plus 3x would be 8x. 9x plus 1x would be 10x. Remember, x represents 1x. 7x take away 3x, so that 7x's take away 3 of them, would give us 4x. And 3x take away 1 single x would be 2x. Other things can also be done with x. For example, consider the number 3 again. If we do 3 times 3, this is known as 3 squared, and it's equal to 9. The same idea applies with x. If we take x, we can do x times x, and this is known as x squared. So 3 times 3 is 3 squared, and x times x is x squared. I have known pupils to get confused between x squared and 2x. But you should remember that x squared means x times x, and 2x means 2 times x, which of course is x plus x. Consider if x was 5. 5 squared is 25, and 2 times 5 is 10. So these are not the same thing. 3 times 3 times 3 is known as 3 cubed. The same idea applies with x. So x times x times x is known as x cubed. Similarly, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 3 to the power 4. So x times x times x times x is x to the power 4. It's worth reviewing this video again. If you understand all of the contents of this video and the examples that follow it in this section, then you'll be able to make very good progress in algebra throughout your secondary course.